wonya so afna mu so ayape wo amanfo wode osika kwatu sika kora bia hodo a ekwa wi ase ekwa bibia ho sika ni nyina koka kem no wo betuo mu nyina ka wa amo mo besrepa na ene je mo Facebook abrantie bi se de yesi adum no ye atwa ni mpram wo no akaso wo san pasa ni pan se hwe amene police force wo mu ye mu hwehwe mu dendende na abrantie no enya se bu ne ye bu ne keko wo mu wie ye kwatere kwaso boy wo sa bo ni naked ede ka ho ensem bi ka we hu ne abon bede ede bro wo ko bank e bo mo samra ne se de Pan African Bank kwai besi anwodwo fom kwadakwadwo de adom na chama kapso so ye bema ene bedu akagina mu nunum bi se de be ya gadidim gadem operation wa break so betumi age 3 points gwale de ya ye die mu fangopa no wode som Ghana de hye to bi fagu hyem na ne oboso se tanwe rufi bi afri engine na chase woti lo na wo kro no star assurance so se brai anwan ni ti ne agina mo kakra benya bia beteto akache se koba sa toro nchem se watumi aboa no asa agina wona so DBS fo kutemu dia na jakala class chase pass so mabai tre ensuo suro no ayam suro no na mframa suro no ene na ne wode som Ghana de hye ma 20 years warranty ne bua no yasa hwa so alozing traces dade de kurida so no abomode amasa ka bia no na tse quantity dua na so adi kankantimi nwi ntimi hunu enti ya febo wada menti ena kasebo ya be ede amamo ya nyebre na fa yasam ne tutu nasre ene abasa enfamamo ya sha ase de awachima piese na nado dan kwakufu ado na kache ne ya sha ase de afri ne yase obofo ne de ne nam ho paso afuna baso ne de nafunu wadi anya de enyo no etese de waka abuom ni nyina da ene se wo kai kafa ba mame a wanya fihye aduokono akuya de nte a nipa bi si na bo abra wanya Steve man to anana mo nse do aden a yase sofo bizu abafu mampanyine de nanu atomose ade enye ne nye pepe wose ni penti wose kire ne tie aduasa mienu no akasa de atua na nya no ko wose bambofo sa ni manimu ya wo munhwehunu se wa rebie ka se behia wo bibia da waka hu bie na sa wuru kasami ekoso no na ne sa afo ne yafo mkodina mbra ni anyerom te se witoa pampe ya iro mo to iro ma no botwe nyi zo mu yimfra magu mu yam na mbra no odisa de se ne fata mampanyine ko ya pe e wo central gunja e wona nso adwumadie bi wotwe apaso ka fefe ko twa mo se kapai na die nso na bo no mafo boje su ye ho en wo kodina wode nsami tuja
it's come at some significant expense to the taxpayer. Yapewura, I assure you that indeed the other issues, creation of the district, establishment of the senior high school, and the fire service station will all in good time be fulfilled. I look forward to returning to Yape to cut the saw for the construction of these other projects. I will make an appropriate contribution also to the Akuya Delta Foundation to express my own revulsion at the awful tragic act that has occurred in this region. It is vital, as the regional minister said, that it should not happen again, and we should all work together to ensure that never again do such acts disfigure the face of our nation. I hope that the quick response of the police will lead to the rapid administration of
Ghana mapanyi na nado dan kwa kufu ado yape wonu okogina yapanyi ni wade nsa tudwa na ne okasane agbaje ne so share ni nyina yeso mu dwumade a wokotwa ahomam se de be yomafo benya nso anom yemfuru ane akwa NDC the Great Katamansonia Party a wa sha so de echini a wa kwade ebresi amwa wotu ane se mogabum ni ti ne siso na ne eneyi panyimpo a wano ne hi franka de amwa Fred te se de yagurasafo wa mapanyi da John Dramani Mahama gonya de hyekonkura woteja tanwoma so de proso no wede wa panyi wakasa wa panyi kasa ya nesima waka nyina da ene se he promised wa mama say wono Awurade Adom na Ghana de hye to aba de mano 2020 abato imu na so afna mu swai wo pepo ambo so mene de to so efie mpino ne aduonu baako a wo hye Ghana de hye nyina da bo so obehwa mu so wo bibia de wode sika kwato sika korabia sanka waja wada ne ne sa de be ya akaba wu se doso no anya kakra de apodwa ekwa wiase akatisi so sika na kwa kem no wo kan bo bia sika gu ne nsem wa mo besre you will be smiling and then some of my penina da John Dramani Mahama wadi tuja na na bedi akira wono na ebebua na mna 2 franc ama mi jane na upoko agyeman no opa no hontema de na kire se we ne doba wo so na ne ho ene opanyini begina wadi nsem nyina da tuja so amafo aka wakomanto yem na de hia ne se wono wo bedi nkunim wonya di nkunim ko ade na ne omafo mo da mo na omni problems kan wo betua mo wa.
My heart goes out to the many who have been affected by this government's unjustifiable collapse of Ghanaian-owned financial institutions. It is heart-wrenching to hear government officials justify the huge amount it is spending to manage the impact of the collapse of Ghanaian financial institutions, which they now put at a whopping 21 billion Ghana cedis. I weep for the many who have lost their jobs, the many who have lost their jobs, the many who have lost their businesses, and the many who have lost their livelihoods as a result of these policies. I pledge on behalf of the NDC that we shall, within 1 year of being in office, pay all funds that have been locked up with the collapsed financial institutions. Within our first year in office, we shall pay to all the beneficiaries all funds locked up in the collapsed financial institutions. It is a promise. We shall not put together any long-term payment plan that will further worsen the living conditions of the victims. As has been introduced in other economies, the next NDC administration will establish a financial services authority that will be responsible for ensuring that consumer financial markets work for consumers and providers and for the economy as a whole. This financial services authority will oversee all financial products and services that are offered to consumers and will effectively and efficiently prevent and stop the challenges that have confronted customers of Men's Gold, DKM, and others.
Omapanyi dada John Dramani Mahama na atesi wakasano amananso wasekretarisi eyase ndudu awurowura ntoba enkrofo awopa wo so omombra no monya adwuma eya appointees no wabefa ketua bi na face kana beka ni nyinada wade amasoma wana boss assembly members enya to abama wa na jesa akoto waka osum se krodom na enya nonko waso onya fa asebra na beya adwuma woye appointee a ewasa japade awodo wo nyinada asa ono frɛ no wode beto monsi mo obi ahu bi sansa faade a wode kyerɛ edidie mu adanse akyinye nti ne kumso nkronso yehwehwe etuba o se bia mo obuzanga vovo baako mo abobo ya baako abobo ya inspector etu na asiam tu kwa ba me de koraba bai sanso na akɔ me dem a me wakambu ekume guarantee dudu ese ntu ka ni nyina de gu ani atworo ne de gu krata so de ato eti sa oba na wufura bam anasa wa bam na wudi sika afroko 22 din benkum ni nifa yetimi ayero na mra no wadi.
It will be a requirement for all who serve in my government to publish their assets declarations and have the same audited by the Auditor General. Of course, the elephantine size of government, consisting of 125 ministers or more, we have been burdened with over these last 4 years, will be reduced drastically. And the savings that we will make from the emoluments of these reduced number of ministers and the privileges that they enjoy will be channeled towards rewarding assembly members to perform the function, will be channeled towards paying assembly members to perform the function of collecting accurate birth and death information in their various electoral areas. And I'm sure this will give better meaning that will satisfy the Supreme Court about the value of our birth certificates.
Omapanyi dada John Dramani Mahama na atesi wadi nsabtu janesa assembly members nyasa moje na modi a esidan koku modi atotakunam sadi enu opokunu matetere dabi o moje na modi akwahwe enkrofo dodo aya wonu wo mpote mosade e beya se kobato o mema dodo de aba chichen sope se de komne wasore dem a wo betumi am se ha ya pese ha no tie kwesi mahu ha no tie kwesi atumpodi ba woni ne banie na afa bibia atumi akwa wano na no akire yi ena mame ya pawo no se franketufo abadi akire mame jen na poko adwman enso begina simpie ni apaso de futoto Ghana de hyenya na nim so wosre bokuta ne se mekra ne akyekye di twotwo na ekoso no Ghana ni bia akwaturo ne di sade abe ya nkwanwoma ne di bekom na openim abosom ne de atwoso nso ne duru ne efrefre Ghana de hyetu ahene ne yesi ahene fo no akwakoto aba a kyerɛ mena hye bedwafo wo pɛ wo ne mampanyina wo bra no medi wo so a wanzo atumi azo kokurumutia no reta na afi watumi akotim sei epan.
I ask us all to be very disciplined about following the WHO guidelines and government directives by taking good care of ourselves, and some of us may understand these protocols a little better. Let us share that knowledge. Let us save lives, no matter whose life is saved. Countrymen and women, all we are doing right now is what has been and has always been a very simple exercise of registration. What is not so simple this time is that the exercise is taking place in a time of a dreadful pandemic that is still evolving, and in our case, still rising. As if all of this is not bad enough, the level of violence, brute force, bloodletting, and sheer breakdown of law and order in an otherwise straightforward act of registering to vote is unbecoming of our country, especially of a country that until recently was hailed as the fulcrum of democracy in our region. How did we descend into this situation? The answer is simple. When there appears to be selective justice, when some offenders are not even placed on the hook, but are hailed and promoted and excused for being nasty and violent, the logical outcome is what we see. This situation of people dying, being harassed because they have decided to register to vote, it's not a story you can tell any child in the future.
Any I quote ye Frank Tunia bed the shed my NDC Amanyoko Mammy Jane. Nana will poke my artist who are some to John Adom 106.3 FM and Mass and 94.7 Southern Asia 104.5 FM and Science Asuono Yabana Bede Ede Ebra one Phobia to Facebook. Ya for Chimna for Yankoyanim, where's your friend or by him, Julia Nadia, what the buyer was a good morning, good morning, Nibi. And we know what was Adias was requack was a Jodia Mesro, was a dear Ben Samna Walkecano. Now, DK am just a mutus. God is love with the woman penina that John Romani Mahama Wababu in Deni. David, Tete Jansu message I want to dia Benny was here to FM, Chicago, America, Bruchman, Kojo Trump Krum, and was a Ghana for Yemia and Yemia. Now, where's your friend Patricia Yim? Nedia, whatever I want you had good morning, Kwakun, whatever and a Janet Uswansa, and so the Nedia Bar was here the Radias you saw the Dafo for Achayan. Isaiah, Quatrain's message I would buy was a Jane and John. Will surely rescue Ghana. One of the day what they buy and Stephen Bimpo ye again with the Mamma Transan Makokadi income. Was he at the Radias said Nayabnada. Now Samuel Mukete, and so the one of the was DK and God is love. And who can bring in a room collapse you and into a diaben and pen for by a day afahon. Now athlete in Tiam was message what Yaban was John Dramani Mahama was a Ghana for ya there was you, there was a Nimumia Kai. Where's your friend and I? One of the message I was a Radiadoma, the party idea, naturally say, a Bushafuina, then Chan, what they am mona, watering Doris, and so message I was a good morning, Ghana, and Priska, Jeffy, and so say, Ghana for Diachindia, and Chan, what they move, Pia, Nanash, Quakus message I would buy and was her life of power, her life, they hack, and when were her dear free. Now, Samuel, Coupons message I would buy and also my penny that John Romani Mahama, and some now Canadians, Rwanda, and Koja can't wapa. Na dada adichia enso message I want so dia beni was good morning alaju one word here dear free na justice concern enso message ni was JM is was it so far wama panyina da John Dramani Mahama wakwa ni mu class wama panyina wote akonwa kase eso wono so no dia wode ba eno na yakoyanim dia branch bi wakodi nsansa me yesi so bro wakaso bro me menkaso pampam me ya duma branch ne papa Ewrade video ayansa kan wo hwa abrantie no ye bono ni abono no wadane ni abono na awrahose me wo mu kra ne se wo mu wie no wo ma nyai no wo de akomudum ni wie ne ko mu nya na nkaje wo fa ne tade fa ko wie no sa bona deja ede ka ho na ansa abrantie no kra ye be bono na chese maame ba ko wo ma bro maame ni se fimfram then you madu fudufu no amana kwa video makwa ni zigizagam enya agrokra na video no woni say ye de bibia no ya ne mo na eche yese bo wano ne bo mano ane tiro nuado na so brebre se esim ensa bia som ti anuam no metimi nyima mo hwe emu nsame no na so police fo so mu ye mu hwehwe mu video no mahu bi na de enkoni enkotie de akwa so video ni mesa so mafo bia adwenkyero mo say wo mo kwachi wo ba ne be ma no so mo ye sokoi wo mo ye miales monyo punctualism soft touch and see a quachi woman idea do moment. And you wear the course of video anymore. What is an man for Casa Wetcher near the idea and one more Tecasa idea? One who switch rate more Musu say Ebia, one more chimpana, and a Korea say just a woman, and I can find some Diabana police force woman. One more Western said, Debbie Buto, Debbie, so he did that Ransania Conquasia. Yan Granny Monte 10 cran in Timber, Mobile Montanum, the small barber trigger. Now for my room, Nipa Bonnie for 3 and Crump and the Bos met to quote me boo, Biba. Equia send was up on. I want to say what? Say quite request by one fan and Tim Montan to Sandy Pacron Watumra, a Quiata Wabumushu. It is woman's Akasa for 9 Muslim Yanada. Yes, your mamma should see when your bobom say go. I'm a Riasia saying another at me. Now, message for Abba. Gilbert was message I want to the Aban was a serious associate me will be my palm not one and animals said no equal me chamu pa and nano pay Shama Asamna asa number 2 and one would wait free what they ebaye Sanso and anana akosia ajmai as message I would about the good morning kwakun what they ebaye na Pastor Myros message I would about was John and Jane nothing better one also is more what they buy no kasi abana shannon so say echo bank e bomb sambrande said the Pan African Bank woman so yas ne be se hojo from what they some Ghana de share Adom na chairman capsule so num bia bem usita ewo mpem lady care capsules wo bat de bema ni bunu abu na afi agise tuta gwale so de fangopa no de som Ghana de hyen ya die mu star assurance bamade asa do ho babo o mesa sa turu nchem si o mo na babo abarbum so mbuafo no atime gina wona so DBS nchese pa ene wo de som Ghana de Colorlink Plus ye ma 20 years warranty ni bo ne ya se twa so na afi wakọ no akwajo de na ye se de kotofofro wa bazum eye food lovers rice na unya bi na udia ube feel no abuanum to anwade wom anu so de bamade asa obenya bi na no pesa obenu amode ahwemu say eye food lovers rice ene ne de stamp obo so say epan wadamenti obi dum bie kwaku adukumi menam kasi abon me kambe mene sisi dia menam sulu akona me yes mojo kasi abon na no pa me ena me de bre wo atwebu tantim na akua champo masafo adu me chaw na kofiasa ne bo echi don boy adonten ayo wo 5 fada rumentri de kwa so Facebook nyina da wo hwe bia so reso de CJ papa bi wa ya krado CJ bra oh CJ bra wa ya krado ene dwaso sem papa bi wa bo captain's band what they bro na there be person me here there be translate person me here wo wata ne color we cry coffee color atade na ferudo abranti wani da ho wani atoati etmu de mu hye CJ ena mu behu no pa so e fine man wati ase kakra se ni botom nya eduka ho amase okokora dada so aso aboabo no asi gaso se mo bebra ya dem ase ama mu nyina moniti a oh boja